Hello students. In this week, in this class, we shall take up the remaining two question and answers of Unit 6 When You Are Old. I hope you have written down the previous two answers in your notebooks and also tried to find out answers for comprehension 1. So these are the questions from your textbook that follow the poem. So in the last class we have written two answers for comprehension 2. Now let us see question number 1 of comprehension 3. The question is, comment on the usage of time frame by the poet. Time frame means the lifespan, timing of life, how the life cycle goes on, that when you are very young, then your youth, then old age. So that time frame. Okay. So the poet has written this poem in his youth days. Okay. The poet was in love with a lady who was very beautiful and rich. Many people loved her for her physical beauty, but the poet loved her for her virtue. As we have discussed in the summary, so you know that the poet loved the lady not only for her physical beauty but for her nature, her behavior, her character, her thoughts, right? But the lady did not give any importance for the poet's true love in her youth days because she had many more admirers. There were many other people who admired her, who loved her, right? So then, when she was young, she did not give much importance to the poet and his true feelings for her. The poet knew that the love of those who loved the lady for her beauty would not last long because beauty is temporary and will change or fade away with time. The poet had then realized in the youth days that those other people who are admiring the lady for her physical beauty, that love, that admiration will change, that will fade away as she grows older because she will not look as beautiful when she grows old as she was in her youth days. Correct. So that love which they expressed then is surely going to change. That the poet knew. Because the love for the sake of beauty will also change with time. As we have again and again read and I have explained you in the summary that as we grow older, we don't look as beautiful, as young as we were in our youth days, as pretty as we were in our youth days. So if a person happens to love someone only for the physical appearance, then obviously that love will alter, that love will change because the person doesn't look that beautiful in his or her old age. The poet also knew that it is this pride of beauty which has made his beloved, means the lady, to neglect him. He also knew that because the lady is so beautiful, she is proud of her beauty, and that pride of her beauty has made her to neglect his true love. The poet was sure that one day, when the lady becomes old and will have no admirers, she will remember his true love for her. He was also damn sure that one day, when she will grow old, that time she will be left all alone, lonely. Why? Because those people who loved her for her physical appearance, her outer beauty, will no longer love her, will no longer admire her. And that time she will realize that this man, that is the poet, was only a true lover who loved her soul along with her beauty. Excuse me. So, in her old age, he wants her to read this poem and realize what she has lost. So, he wants her to read the book of poems that he has written, right? And also, side by side, he wants her to realize what she has lost. What she has lost? The true love of the poet, correct? Thus, the poet has used the time frame beautifully by visualizing the lady's old age when she was young. Question number 2. When You Are Old is a poem of contrasts. What purpose do they serve? This is the question. So let us see some important points how you are going to answer this question. In the poem, the poet describes the following contrasts. What is a contrast? We match contrast colors, right, when we wear clothes. So hope you know what is a contrast, right? Something in an opposite form but with goes with the original form, which suits the original form, right? Contrast. See, the first contrast is of the lady in her young age and in her old age. See, firstly, the poet has contrasted the same lady in two different time frames of life. That is, once when the lady is young and next when the lady is old. In her young age, the lady had many admirers. So, this is one more contrast. When she was young, she had many people who admired her. But now, in her old age, she is lonely, right? Then she had many people who admired her. Now, when she is old, she doesn't have any admirer. She is lonely. This is one more contrast. Then see. Secondly, there is a contrast of true love of the poet and the false love of many other people who loved the lady only for her physical beauty. Second important contrast the poet has given us is the difference, the contrast of only infatuation and true love. That is why we had discussed this in your pre-reading activity in so much detail. Hope you remember those points. See, the contrast is between true love of the poet and the false love of many other people, admirers, who loved the lady only for her physical beauty. Then, there also can be seen a contrast between beauty and ugliness. Let us not take the word ugliness too seriously. It is just to contrast the word beauty. See, when we are young, we look very beautiful, handsome, pretty, lovable, adorable. The same person, when he or she grows older, the physical features go on changing. The color fades, you have dark circles, the wrinkles all over, eyesight weakens, physical strength comes down. You feel tired, sort of, then sleepy all the time. You don't find yourself fit enough to do all those activities, have all that strength which you had in your youth, right? So it becomes a bit ugly. Have you seen a person with the old face, an old person? In the first part of the poem itself, I had shown you with the same face of the lady with two parts, divided in two parts. Once when she was young and beautiful, and the other half part of the face when she grew old with wrinkles and eyes and dark circles. Remember? So, see, beauty and ugliness. So, that contrast also you can see here. The poet's beloved, that is the lady. The poet's beloved was beautiful in her young age, but has lost her charm in the old age. So now she is no more charming as she was in her youth when she was young. The poet also describes the contrast of want of love in her youth and in her old age. See, the lady wanted herself to be loved by people. She wanted people to admire her, to love her. But when she was young, that want, that desire had different perspective. Whereas now, when she has gone old, the perspective has changed. So, this is one more contrast. She did not want the poet's love when she was young, as she had many admirers. That is what again, because she was proud of her beauty. She was full of pride for her physical appearance, her beauty, her charm, the glow on her face, the shine in her eyes. Okay, so she was very proud of all those appearances that she had, how she looked, how beautiful she was. But and then at that time when she was young, because many people loved her physical beauty, so she was very proud of it, and she did not care, she did not respond to the poet's true love. Correct? But she craves for the same love in her old age which she has lost. Again, another contrast. So, in her youth days, she neglected the poet. But when now that she has gone old and looks no more beautiful as she looked in her youth, now she realizes that people loved her only for her appearance. But whereas the poet loved her for her soul. And now she wants that love. But she cannot get it because the poet is no more. I hope you are understanding what we are reading. All these contrasts tell us that change is the rule of nature. We all know that change is the rule of nature. See, things do not remain the same forever. Everything on the earth keeps on changing. So it is the rule of nature. The contrasts mentioned in the poem serve the purpose to substantiate the statement that everything on earth changes with time, but only true love remains unchanged forever, irrespective of physical changes. See, I'll give you a simple example. Don't take it in a wrong sense, just to relate you to the context that we are reading. Suppose a boy and a girl are in deep love with each other. Okay, now they are very young. She is very beautiful, he is very handsome. Okay, and everything is going on fine. One fine day, an accident takes place, and let us take, for example, let us assume that the girl gets hurt severely in the accident and she has lost her one limb, or say very she's got her face damaged. Maybe she has got many uh, what do you call, many bruises on her face, by account of which she looks very ugly. She does recover from that accident, she is alive, but now the way she looks, her face has become so ugly. Just imagine for 1 second, will the same boy treat her as he treated her when they were in love before the accident? Or will his feelings, his attitude, his approach towards her will change? Now see, this is one instance. Okay, there can be two possibilities. Had that boy's love been only infatuation, then in that case, after the accident, when the girl looks very ugly or has lost her leg, her hands, or something like that, she has become physically disabled. So, if it was only infatuation, he will ditch her, he will go away from her, saying Tata bye bye. Correct? But if by chance the boy's love was true love for the girl, then even with that kind of physical conditions of the girl, he will accept her and he will be with her to help her, to support her morally, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, till the end of the life. That is true love. So see, time frame changes, life goes through different phases of time frame, we pass through different stages of life, but if the love is true, then it remains unchanged. All other things on earth keep on changing, and that is what the poet is trying to highlight here. So I hope you have by now understood the gist, the summary, the theme of the poem. Now write down these questions and answers in your notebook and read them again and again.